You know, the best part is now I'm going to have trouble getting the VOD of that for YouTube. We've had that kind of a crash once before, with Oblivion, actually. And I flat out lost footage as a consequence of that. Not sure what's causing that. No idea what to do about that. So, whatever. That's a hard crash. My whole computer shut down.
Ah, you've retrieved the horn of Jörgen Windcaller. Well done. You have now passed all the trials. Come with me. That's how us to recognize these horns.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm filled with fear. Oh, that's gonna be such a goddamn pain. I just realized. Oh no, I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do about that. Oh god. Oh no. Yeah, we may have just lost that entire episode, guys. I'll see what I can do about it. The computer died. Flat. Black screened.
You are ready to learn the final.
Thank you, Permeus. Sorry, I'm just screwed up here. Thank you very much for that donation, as ever. Or that sub. As ever, those Twitch Prime subs are very much appreciated. Thank you.
With all three words together, this shout is much more powerful. Use it wisely.
Come on.
Master Wolfgar will now gift you with his knowledge of Dar.
I'm actually trying to think of what I could do to fix that. And I'm not sure I've got anything. I might be able to use Twitch's own video creator to do something about that.
Stand between us and prepare yourself. Few can withstand the unbridled voice of the Greybeards, but you are ready.
Twitch doesn't actually record videos, but see, the problem isn't the fact that I could get the VOD. The problem is the VOD needs to be edited. That's the problem. And the files I can pull off of Twitch are not in an editable format. Now, I might be able to edit it directly on Twitch. If I can do that, we're fine. And that's what I'll try to do later. See, if you don't really understand the problem here is that the stream today has been everything from when I started Lore Week, and then the Black Panther discussion, and then Skyrim.
High Hrothgar is open to you.
Thanks, buddy. I'll look into it, guys. I'll look into it.
Wind, guide you.
Ah. Alduin.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
It was recorded on Alduin's wall.
The blades, of course.
I didn't even mention the blades. What the hell are you on about, dude?
They barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the blades to be used for their own purposes?
I'm here to defeat Alduin.
What I want is irrelevant. This shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. Did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn. No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom.
Piss off and die.
Dragonborn, wait.
Yes.
Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einoth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make.
Okay. So can you teach me the shout?
No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice.
Blah blah, pacifism, blah blah.
Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses.
Now, I could just go up there and talk to him, but no, I gotta go through like the next 10 minutes of fluff to get there first.
You weren't ready. You still aren't ready. But, thanks to the blades, you now have questions that only Paarthurnax can answer.
Okay.
He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice.
And he's definitely not a dragon. I mean, why would someone named Paarthurnax be a dragon? Was anyone even remotely caught surprised by that? I'm just curious.
He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege.
I wanted to slug him, Venters, and I have never done that.
Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax.
Well, I agree on that part, Django. I just kind of despise the Greybeards on principle. I'm not a very pacifist kind of guy. That's probably obvious. Alduin the Stream Eater. Yeah, he ate my stream, guys. Sorry. I wonder what it's like when people who are well-versed in the Thu'um, like, what happens when they sneeze? Undertale is not pacifism. Anybody who's played Undertale knows Undertale is not pacifist. Undertale is very much about active interactions and doing. That is correct, Venters.
I will show you how to open
Without mods. That is correct. I have literally never completed that quest. And, I never will.
Look.
Someone go kill Blue Walrus for disagreeing with me. What are you disagreeing about? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, go ahead and kill Blue Walrus, guys. Rip him shreds from shreds. Like, really turn him into pasta.
I will grant you my understanding of clear skies.
Nah, thanks. God, I hate these guys. I have dragon souls. Oh, right.
This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well.
Thanks, dude. They kind of are, Akatsuki.
Clear skies will blow away the mist, but only for a time. The path to Paarthurnax is perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
Okay. I gotta keep this equipped because this and Dragonrend are basically all I'm gonna use for a while here. At least until Dragonborn. I guess I can undo that. Dragonborn sneeze. I do kind of like the idea that as you hone your voice, you can't unhone it. Like, it gets to the point where you basically have to whisper or barely speak, as they actually showcase several times. Because if you actually use your voice at full volume, it will cause issues. In fact, probably the one and only thing in the entire game that I really like about the voice is when they shout from on top of a mountain and people across half of Skyrim hear it. That's awesome. Like, speaking as someone who, you know, knows a little bit about audible, the way audio travels in the air, and theatrical audio design, that's damned impressive. No, every dragon's name has a specific meaning. I actually forget what Paarthurnax means off the top of my head, but it does mean something. But yeah, dragons' names are basically, you know, killer of worms, death to all, that kind of a thing. Hey, Mac Daddy. God, I don't really sound Argonian, do I? Oh my god, it's a dragon! Ambition, overlord, cruelty, thank you.
Greeting.
It's a me, Mario! Because everyone knows that fact. Everyone knows that. Moving on.
Tundunik, I am Paarthurnax.
Hey, dude. We cool?
Who are you? What brings you to my Strunmach, my mountain?
I think you already know who I am.
Yes, Vaza. You speak true, Dovahkiin. Forgive me. It has been long since I held Tinvak with a stranger. I gave in to the temptation to prolong our speech.
Why live in a mountain if you love conversation?
Evenar Balok, there are many hungers it is better to deny than to feed.
What? That's not true.
Akib. Discipline against the lesser aids in Kachnar, denial of the greater.
Yes, this is Mario.
Tell me,
not the Mario.
Why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation?
Well, I'm a Luigi, number one. Oh, sorry. What I mean is, can you teach me Dragon Rend?
Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove.
Okay. Like what?
By long tradition, the Elder speaks first.
Well, that's you, so go ahead.
Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin.
Aw.
The word calls you. Go to it. A gift, Dovahkiin. You'll understand fire as the Dove do.
So I've spoken a lot of negativity about the main quest of Skyrim, but I have to admit, I like Paarthurnax. For several reasons, too. There's a reason I chose his quote to embody this entire game. I believe that the closest thing we have to a central theme of the main quest, threadbare though it may be, is his central motivation. The idea of struggling against fate or design or leadership in order to basically forge your own path towards what you believe to be good.
Come, Dovahkiin. Ninyol, strike me with the fire of your Thum.
And I also think he's one of the better voice-acted characters in this game.
Yes. Sosedo Vlostmul.
It's more like fighting nature, Melkor.
Strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a jaw, mortal. Even for one of Dovasos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me?
I actually just said that.
I have expected you, Proda.
Yeah, that's the quote I was
You would
referencing,
not
Tara.
come all this way
It's the one I used in
for
the announcement video.
Tinvok with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin.
Yep, I need an Elder Scroll.
Alduin Comate Teed. What else would you seek? Alduin and Dovahkiin return together. But I do not know the Thum you seek. Croesus, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum?
To conquer the entire universe.
Prusa, as good a reason as any. There are many who feel as you do, although not all. Some would say that all things must end, so that the next can come to pass. Perhaps this world is simply the egg of the next Kalpa, Lean Vokeen. Would you stop the next world from being born?
The next world can handle itself when it gets there. I'm kind of concerned about the world that is currently here.
Paz, a fair answer. Rofus, maybe you only balance the forces that work to quicken the end of this world. Even we who ride the currents of time cannot see past time's end. Wulsetid los trahodis. Those who try to hasten the end may delay it. Those who work to delay the end may bring it closer. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus, now I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monaven, what you name throat of the world?
Dragons like mountains, right?
True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues. Varucht Unslad. Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated. Yes and no. Viknus Nikaron. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time.
Now, it's worth noting that when they tossed Alduin into the future, we're not actually 100% sure when he showed up. Obviously, he showed up before the beginning of this game, since that's when he actually starts making his presence known. I've heard three predominant theories. One, that he's been here for a while, and he's been slowly prepping himself to make himself known. And he was basically looking for the Dragonborn of this era. Us. Two, that he showed up like minutes or maybe hours before the beginning of the game at here, at the top of the peak, and then swooped down to where we were and went after us. Or three, this is my personal favorite, he showed up pretty much when we heard that first roar. Like, he showed up during the intro to Skyrim. That's my personal favorite. But we don't know, because... What's an Elder Scroll? God, am I really that stupid?
Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever. Forever lost. Nay. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when.
Okay.
Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin.
We call it a dragon break.
If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it.
I'll go ahead and say that's kind of a cool idea right there. Because while the Elder Scrolls' approach to time and time travel is usually, well, this is actually quite linear and logical. They did this, they launched him forward. We glimpse our way back to learn something here to use here. There's no plot holes in this particular aspect, and all the time travel does line up neatly. It's kind of cool the way they do it, actually. Especially since we don't actually go back in time when we do it. All we do is view the past.
Croesus, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I.
Sorry.
Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way.
Now, let me go ahead and say one thing really quick. I've heard a few people. I have heard more than a few people argue. In fact, during this very lore run, that Alduin showed back up here on the mountain. If that's true, then we have a bit of a story issue, because for whatever reason, Alduin apparently respawned, from time here, and then immediately ignored Paarthurnax, who was here. And Paarthurnax gives no indication that he encountered him, and there was no battle and no fighting. There's just kind of a weird disconnect there. You know what I mean? Anyways, so, oh, right, instead of going to the logical next location... What? No. What? I'm just gonna go to Winterhold, because I know where to go next. Is that cool, guys? Pretty damn sure. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I suppose it's possible that Paarthurnax had decided to go off and get some groceries at the very moment that Alduin came through, but that is such a bizarre explanation that I can't really bring myself to believe it. So, realistically speaking, we're probably talking about a plot hole here. Alduin appeared, and then immediately left.
I'm not one for commendations, but I might have lost everything that matters, so thanks.
I'm looking for an Elder Scroll.
And what do you plan to do with it? Do you even know what you're asking about? Or are you just someone's errand boy?
I am literally your Archmage. Give me the goddamn Elder Scroll.
I knew it. Everyone comes in here expecting my help, but they don't even have the proper questions. An Elder Scroll is an instrument of immense knowledge and power.
Yep.
To read an Elder Scroll, a person must have the most rigorously trained mind, or else risk madness.
I mean, I am insane.
Even so, the Divines usually take the reader's sight as a price.
No. So...
Ah. You think that even if I did have one here, I would let you see it? It would be kept under the highest security. The greatest thief in the world wouldn't be able to lay a finger on it.
Well...
I don't know who told you that, but I'll do what I can. What we do have are plenty of books. I'll bring everything we have on them, but it's not much.
Thanks.
So don't get your hopes up. It's mostly lies, leavened with rumor and conjecture.
Guys, we found the quote that describes the Elder Scrolls as a series right there. That quote is the Elder Scrolls franchise. It's mostly lies. Oh my god! And we're literally talking about the Elder Scrolls. That has to be deliberate. That has to be deliberate. What do you know about the Elder Scrolls? It's mostly lies and conjecture mixed with rumor. Yes, it is.
You're not. My rules about books still stand.
Yeah, that's nice. You got my books
Here
here.
you go. Try not to spill anything on them.
Oh, here they are. Okay, yep. And then ruminations on the Elder Scrolls. Alright, guys, this game's getting too meta for me. Actually, I want to read this first sentence because this irritates me a lot. They seem to imply that the Elder Scrolls are something utterly beyond our even beginning capacity to understand. The way they describe that is, and I quote, "Imagine living beneath the waves with a strong-sided blessing of the most excellent fabric. Holding the fabric over your gills, you would begin to drink its warp and weft. Through the plant matter fibers imbue your soul, the wretched plankton would pollute the cloth until it stank to heavens of prophecy." This is the Elder Scrolls, but are we the sea, the breather, or the fabric? Or are we the breath itself? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Really, I don't know what else to add to that. So yeah, if you ever wondered what they talk about the Elder Scrolls like in lore, there you go. There we go. Now, it should be telling me to go... What are you telling me to do, game? Oh, god damn it. Do I... Maybe I can skip this step, because I know where I'm going. Hey, Shadowmere. How did you get out here, Shadowmere? There's no land! Whatever. Hey, dude.
Oh. Dig, Dwemer in the beyond. The ice entombs the heart. The bane of Paarthurnax and Degother. To harness it is to know the fundaments. The Dwemer lockbox hides it from me. The Elder Scroll gives insight deeper than the deep ones, though, to bring about the opening.
I'm sorry, you have an Elder Scroll?
I have seen enough to know their fabric, the warp of air, the weft of time. But no, it is not in my possession. Here. Well, here as in this plain, Mundus, Tamriel, nearby. relatively speaking. On the cosmological scale, well, it's all nearby. One block lifts the other. Septimus will give what you want, but you must bring him something in return.
What do you want?
You see this masterwork of the Dwemer, deep inside their greatest knowings. Septimus is clever among men, but he is but an idiot child compared to the dullest of the Dwemer. Lucky then they left behind their own way of reading the Elder Scrolls. In the depths of Blackreach, one yet lies.
Ah, yes.
Have you heard of Blackreach? Cast upon where Drimmer city slept, the yearning spire hidden learnings kept.
And where is Blackreach?
Under deep, below the dark, the hidden keep, Tower Mzark. Of Tand, the point of puncture, of first entry of the tapping. Delve to its limits, and Blackreach lies just beyond. But not all can enter there. Only Septimus knows the hidden key to loose the lock, to jump beneath the deathly rock.
Okay.
Two things I have for you. Two shapes. One edged, one round. The round one for tuning. Dwemer music is soft and subtle, and needed to open their cleverest gates. The edged lexicon for inscribing. To us, a hunk of metal. To the Dwemer, a full library of knowings, but empty. Find Mzark and its sky dome. The machinations there will read the scroll and lay the lore upon the cube. Trust Septimus. He knows you can know.
Thanks. So, real quick. He's a follower of Haemoris Mora. Haemoris Mora wants him to basically, he wants to get into this thing, and Haemoris Mora says, I'll help you. He thinks the Heart of Lorcan is in here. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit to showcase something. As you can see, the Heart of Lorcan is not in here. Instead, it is the Ogma Infinium. You know, that Ogma Infinium. Now, I can't even interact with it yet because there's scripts attached, but I just wanted to share that little bit of messed up. Because Haemoris Mora is not a good guy. So, this will effectively be the last time the Dwemer actually matter to this game, and thus the last time we'll bring them up. Now, there's actually a way to go in the back entrance here, and basically go straight to the final dungeon and completely bypass this entire thing. However, I do kind of want to show off the Falmer a little bit, so we're just going to cheat our balls off and get through this as quickly as possible instead. Anywho, we are not doing his quest. Abso-freaking-lutely not. Okay, so let's start by talking about the Falmer. Now, I've already discussed the beginning half of their history, but for those of you who don't remember it, let me cover it again really quickly. Once upon a time, the Falmer pretty much dominated Skyrim. A lot of the ruins and areas around here are either theirs or the Dwemer's, one of the two. Now, the Falmer were not good people. And we unfortunately don't actually know a lot about their culture or their history or anything, really. Instead, what we do know about them is that they really, really didn't like these pests that kept showing up. And for some reason, these pests just would not go away. It was beginning to get aggravating, really. Because no matter how many of them they killed, more of them would continue to show up. Just really frustrating. So they kept killing these pests, and they kept killing these pests, and they were breeding like rats, and finally they got rid of them. Oh, thank God, all the pests are gone. Then the pests came back with basically a massive army of doom, and then that pest army of Doom, decided to kick the ever-loving crap out of the Falmar to the point where the Falmar were basically being completely genocided. In case you haven't figured this out yet, or you don't remember me talking about this before, I am referring specifically to the Atmorans, the people who would someday become...
Sulla, let's just get out of here. Hasn't there been enough death?
Of course you want me to leave. Just waiting for me to turn my back, so you can have all the glory for yourself.
Is someone there? Ha!
the people who would eventually become the Nords, as I mentioned earlier.
You can't win this.
Okay. By all accounts, the Falmer were split from the okay. The Snow Elves were already split from the Aldmeri. And we know that because we actually do meet one Snow Elf in the course of this game. We'll actually meet it during Dawnguard. Sorry, Chief Entropist. You know how it is. Timelines and work schedules, and I need sleep at some time, man. Come on, what do you want from me? So this is Blackreach, really quick. Now, you might be wondering why this is relevant. Well, this is relevant for 3 reasons, and this is why I'm talking about the Falmer here. There's a second one, Lava Dude? Anyways, this is beautiful. Let me just start by saying that. Most of Skyrim, to me, is visually unimpressive, with a couple of noteworthy exceptions. And this is one of those exceptions. Blackreach looks awesome. Love this place. Now, there's also several quests you can do down here, some of which are better than others. There's the quest for that stuff. But yeah, this is basically a mega dungeon. It is several other... There's one massive area here, and it's connected to several other adjacent areas, and it's just good stuff all around. I like it. I'm not actually going to do much here. There's not really a lot of lore to share, other than what I'm about to share with you, because the Snow Elves were not actually down here. I like how Bragwin's skipping ahead in the story for me here. See, what happened is the Snow Elves had been fought east. Basically, they'd been mostly kicked out of Skyrim by what would eventually become the Nords and Ysgramor's companions. They were losing hard. But they had one last chance, the Snow Prince. I actually read that story back in Morrowind in the Blood Moon expansion. And they had this one last chance, this one effort, like, oh, we're going to make this happen. And it frickin' failed. And by all accounts that we know, that was the last Snow Elf leader of significance, the last of the Snow Elf royalty. So their upper aristocratic bloodline, gone. Then they basically ran to the Dwemer. Full tilt. Just freaking, God, please help us. And the Dwemer said, okay, we'll help you. And the Dwemer basically forced the Snow Elves to become the Falmer. Now, there's some in-specifics about exactly what that entails. Some people think that the Dwemer performed experiments on them to turn them into the Falmer. Some people think that they just forced them down here and they become the Falmer as a natural byproduct of it. But that is a Falmer. And I make that distinction because that is not a Snow Elf. It used to be. I want to point out its eyes, or rather where its eyes should be. You'll notice there's just skin going over its eye sockets, because that's what happened to them down here. Either as a consequence of the experimentations of the Dwemer, or a natural byproduct of here, or maybe it's something that was done over generations. We don't know the specifics, that's why I gave the click. One way or another, however, the Dwemer forced them to become the Falmer. It was a deliberate thing. Now, the other funny thing about that is some of the Falmer said, no! God, no, that's horrible. And then they fled. All Snow Elves who refused to become Falmer, I'm mixing up my words here, forgive me. All Snow Elves who refused to become Falmer were either executed and driven to actual extinction, or eventually, in desperation, took the Dwemer's deal. Now we have only Falmer, except for a couple of... except for a few specific Snow Elves that have endured into the modern era. Now you might be like, hang on. Why did the Dwemer want to do this to them? They wanted some chattel. Slaves. They turned the surviving snow elves, the Falmer, into a complete slave race. Fun people. When the Dwemer... The Falmer kind of just started doing their own thing. It can and has been argued that the Falmer are not actually sentient and sapient anymore. It has been argued that maybe they are growing back to sentience and sapience. But regardless of where their actual intellect is right now, they are tribal at absolute best. Well, that depends on the nature of what transformed them. But either way, the answer definitively and provably is no. There are only Falmer henceforth. So that's the first reason why I wanted to go this way. So the second way says I wanted to go to Sinderion's laboratory. You remember Sinderion, right? I hope you do. Crimson Nirnroot. Yay. Ah, Sinderion. I actually do feel bad about this. Not this part. As you can see, he was killed by Dwemer machines. Yes, he was actually in Oblivion. He is one of, I believe, 2 characters who are in Oblivion who are also in vanilla Skyrim. Oh, wow, Corellis, that's interesting. I'm just going to read his journal super quick here. So, the year 58, for a quick refresher, the year 1 is when Oblivion ended, and the year 201 is roughly when Skyrim begins. So, year 58. I've spent a large portion of my life unraveling the mystery of the Nirnroot, and yet I still feel unfulfilled. The trilling sound this strange herb emits seems to taunt me, to push me even harder to discover its secrets. Even after a generous and indomitable traveler became a field collector in my stead, and provide me with 5 score of Nirnroot, so in other words, canonically, we actually did his entire quest, I was only able to muster what I considered a mediocre alchemical creation at best. This only served to strengthen my hunger and whet my appetite for the solution. It wasn't until 50 years later that the answer to my prayers was carried into my basement workshop at the Westweald Inn. First thing I heard was the familiar tone, that unmistakable warble unique to the Nirnroot. But when I turned around, my heart leapt and a chill ran through my spine. This was indeed a Nirnroot, but a variety the likes of which I've never seen. The herb was awash in a spectacular array of red hues, each leaf seemingly emblazoned with innumerable variations of crimson. I couldn't move. I was completely transfixed. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined a species of Nirnroot with such a unique property. After an awkward silence, I managed to stammer out a few questions to the traveler who'd brought me the treasure. He told me his name was Obeth Arnesian, a treasure seeker from Skyrim. Apparently he'd been exploring a vast subterranean underground of caverns called the Blackreach, and had stumbled across what he dismissed as a noisy red weed. His expedition was largely unsuccessful, and he didn't want to leave the caves empty-handed, so Obeth picked up one of the Crimson Nirnroot to bring home. He said it took some time, but eventually he was pointed my way, and that perhaps I'd pay a fair price for it. Before I could gather my wits and ask anything else, he offered to sell me the Nirnroot, a map showing me how to find Blackreach, and a strange key needed to breach the outer defenses. It took mere moments to decide. Obeth left a few 1,000 septims richer, but I would have easily paid 10 times that amount to obtain the sample alone. It took a year of planning, but I was able to pack up and sell my workshop, make my way into Skyrim. Before delving headfirst into Blackreach, I knew I needed to set up a laboratory, but I wished to do so in seclusion. After making inquiries at the College of Winterhold, of which I was actually an honorary member, I was directed to speak to Arvusa Serethi, a student of botanical alchemy, who had a small farm near the city of Riften. By bartering my knowledge of Nirnroot cultivation, I was able to secure Serethi Farm as a launching point for my field expedition, or my field research. I kept the knowledge of the Crimson Nirnroot a secret from Avarusa, but imparted everything else I knew to her, in exchange for her hospitality. A few months passed, but I was finally able to enter Blackreach. I used the attunement sphere that Obeth had provided and descended into the depths. My goal was to gather enough Crimson Nirnroot to produce my greatest alchemical creation to date. I was certain it would take at least 30 of them to provide the necessary catalyst. This brings me to the present. My initial research seems to indicate that the Crimson Nirnroot has a similar affinity for moisture as the garden variety, but also maintains some sort of symbiotic relationship with the enormous fungi that inhabits Blackreach. It's my guess that the fungi itself is a source of water, absorbing it from the moist subterranean air like a sponge. This provides the ideal environment for the Nirnroot to grow. Unfortunately, the Crimson Nirnroot appears to have a vastly shortened lifespan, and they are in no way plentiful down here. Gathering 30 of them will be quite the challenge, but hopefully the denizens of Blackreach will allow me to gather the samples unhindered. And then he was killed. And that makes me sad. I mean, I didn't like his quest, but I kind of liked Sinderion. And it was kind of cool to see him here, even though he was a corpse. We will, of course, not be doing that quest because we are not insane. Poor guy. By the way, the other character I was mentioning, who's in Oblivion and in this game, is the main character. So I was not counting Maik. I do not think Maik counts at all. I am also stuck. Yes, I was referring to Sheogorath, aka the champion of Cyrodiil. Yes, I know, it's only 99.99% confirmed. That's good enough for me. Yeah, that's another thing I want to say about Sinderion. He was pretty committed. The fact that he was willing to do this says a lot. Both in terms of his mental sanity. Oh my god! And in terms of his determination. You just startled the hell out of me, sir. Thank you very much, Daddy to Go. I am glad you've been enjoying the Elder Scrolls Lorerun thus far. I appreciate it. Thank you. Would you like to put that towards any of our incentives on the website for Premier Runs? It's okay. It's okay. I just wasn't expecting that. What the? I don't buy that theory for a second, H.T. Wallace. Oh, right, I got it. No? Hello? Well, anyways. What's funny is this puzzle is not actually that confusing. Yes, that is correct, Daddy to Go. But it's not working. Why isn't it activating properly? You got it. Give me a second. I'll pull up. Oh, God, I just realized I lost my notes. That's okay. I remembered. It was Zawan, and he put 15 towards Metro. Yep, there we go. I have no idea, Dream Whisperer. Who was that? I mean, the KOTOR lore one was literally years ago at this point. Like 3.5 years ago, something like that. I have a decent memory, but not that good. Sexy Brutal. Daddy, there you go. There we go. Thank you again. So anyways, pretty sure I actually screwed up here, so I'm just gonna go in here. Where is this thing? Come on. Where's the scroll? Oh, don't tell me it hasn't spawned yet, because I haven't actually solved the puzzle. Oh, Christ, I really don't want to come back in here. Okay. Well, the good news is, the back door literally leads right here. This is actually how I was going to come in, except I wanted to show off Blackreach. So, there we go. And you can see where we are here. Just keep this in mind for a minute. At this point, I don't even know what to expect from the Sexy Brutale. Except that it's going to be horribly evil and the worst game ever. And that Permius really wants me to play it for some reason. He's the one who suggested it for the premiere run list. No, that's okay, that's okay. I'll do this legit. Sigh. Oh god, I remember that, Malachor.
All this knowledge might have been lost were it not for you. Until next time.
What?
I don't care if you wrote it yourself. If you want a book from here, you go through me.
Oh god.
The Arcanium is always accepting new volumes. I'll take what I can. Of course, mages need to be reminded to be careful around research material. A mage, we've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and
Okay,
gone,
yeah, I may have to actually advance the
mostly
quest.
intact.
Because the scripts just are not functioning right now. So the quest name is Elder Knowledge.
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell
Yeah, I may have to actually console the quest ahead a step. Just to get this out of the way here, because I'm tired of that thing being on my map. Oh no, we're finishing it today if I can ever get this to work. Nah, I changed my mind. For some reason, the game won't let us just do what we need to do. It's like, no. You gotta go jump through the hoops, which admittedly irritates me a little bit, mostly on replays. Or when I'm in a hurry. Screw you, terrain. Yeah, there we go. Where's the... So let's see if this works at all, first of all. Because it looked like it wasn't triggering properly, but maybe I just didn't hit enough times. Okay. There we go. Okay, apparently I just didn't hit the one enough times. My bad. Only the Dwemer would build something like this to read an Elder Scroll, am I right? Yes, now it's actually there. There we go. What about... Oh, it's probably a copy wrong issue, MacDaddy. I wonder what happens if I read this scroll. I'll just try it right now. go. It's under E. Oh my god, my eyes, my eyes. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. I'm cool, guys. I'm cool. It's cool. I just had a couple. No, by definition. Ayleid literally means Heartland Elves, which is Cyrodiil. Ayleids, by definition, only exist in Cyrodiil. So, okay, just making sure we're at the correct step. Well, either is being kept there by the Dwemer machinations, or...
The Elder Scroll.
Yeah. Heroes can read Elder Scrolls and use them. Everyone else, it's a little less defined.
The very bones of the earth are at your disposal.
Okay. Alright, and now to AFK for a pretty long, effectively unskippable cutscene. You ready for this, guys?
Go then, fulfill your destiny. Take the scroll to the time.
Yeah, there's not a lot we can do right here.
Running out of time. The battle.
Dar sun thurse Alduin Ukri. Today, Alduin's lordship will be restored.
Things like that, and the later discussions about dragon politics, are one of the reasons why I think Alduin was just a particularly powerful dragon lord, and not literally a fragment of Akatosh. Just my opinion on that.
But I honor your courage. Kriegwolf Akrin. Die now in vain.
For Skyrim!
Know that Formalities sent you down to death.
Best voice actress in the game right here.
Hakon! A glorious day, is it not?
Have you no thought beyond the blooding of your blade?
What else is there?
Battle below goes ill. If Alduin does not rise to our challenge, I fear all may be lost.
You worry too much, brother. Victory will be ours.
Why does Alduin hang back? We've staked everything on this plan of yours, old man.
He will come. He cannot ignore our defiance. And why should he fear us, even now?
We've blooded him well. 4 of his kin have fallen to my blade alone this day.
But none have yet stood against Alduin himself. Balthor, Sori, Birka.
They did not have Dragonrend. Once we bring him down, I promise, I will have his head.
You do not understand. Alduin cannot be slain like a lesser dragon. He is beyond our strength. Which is why I brought the Elder Scroll.
I mean, if anybody's gonna know the truth of that, it'd be Colonel Campbell, right?
Feldir, we agreed not to use it.
I never agreed. And if you are right, I will not need
we will
it.
deal with Alduin ourselves. Here and now.
We shall see soon enough. Alduin approaches.
So be it.
Tarodis Ane. Him hind Paliv. Su'u hindan.
Let those that watch from Sovngarde envy us this day. will not be in terror. You feel for the first time, worm. I see it in your eye.
Real quick, that's one of the reasons why I find it unlikely that Alduin popped out here. He makes it clear that he knows Paarthurnax betrayed him, and he hates Paarthurnax. And yet, he shows up here and is just like, Dragonborn.
Skyrim will be free!
That or Paarthurnax made it, Chief Entropist. We're not 100% sure on that.
It's no use. Use the scroll, Feldir. Now.
Hold Alduin on the wing. Sister Hawk, grant us your sacred breath to make this contract heard. Begone, World Eater. By words with older bones than your own, we break your perch on this age and send you out. You are banished. We shout you out from all our endings unto the last.
This was before the first era, Harian. This was a really, really, really long time ago. Yeah, Paarthurnax said that men created it, and Alduin said that Paarthurnax created it, so...
It worked. We did it.
Take your pick.
Yes, the World Eater is gone. May the spirits have mercy on our souls.
Oh, by the way, it's never stated outright, but it is implied that this is the exact same Elder Scroll that we're using here. They start labeling the Elder Scrolls in this game. There's actually 3 others we encounter throughout the course of this game, which is just ridiculous.
My belly is full of the souls of your fellow mortals, Dovahkiin.
Uh-huh. I'm sure it is. No, shouts. There we go.
And await your fate in Sovngarde.
I'm an Argonian. I'm not going to Sovngarde, you jackass.
You are too late, Alduin. Sulaki Mulak, Paarthurnax.
Alright, epic battle! Yeah! Alright, we're done.
Waxed, while yours has waned.
Aw.
Dear, join me or perish with your mortal friends. Unshrat Hokoran, never again. Bring him to gold with Dragon Rend.
Okay, love it, dude. Let me be clear, this is not a hard fight, even if you're playing normal. Just want to make that clear. In fact, this is one of the reasons Alduin is kind of pathetic, and always has been. He's a dragon fight. Nothing is special or unique about him other than how much he talks. He is just another dragon fight, in gameplay terms.
Not their equal. This is your chance, Dovahkiin. Please move, Dovahkiin. You have become strong.
He's too strong for me.
But I am Alduin, firstborn of Akatosh, Malagi Zoklat. I cannot be slain here by you or anyone else. You cannot prevail against me. I will outlast you, mortal.
Mortal counter. One more, for good measure. I'm done. I'll let you go, buddy. Go on. Pay attention, by the way. One piece of evidence in my mind that he is not some super mega god deity, but is instead just a particularly powerful dragon, is that he doesn't just teleport to Sovngarde. He goes there the same way we do. He just happens to have wings. In other words, the only way he can reach Sovngarde is through the portal into Sovngarde. Just pointing it out. Alright, Paarthurnax. Paarthurnax. Parthy. There you are. Hey, Parthy. Hey, man. You mind landing? Please? Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Lot Congrach, you truly have the voice of a Dova. Alduin's allies will think twice after this victory.
I mean, he escaped?
Yes, one of his allies could tell us. Matmahus. But it will not be so easy to convince one of them to betray him. Perhaps the Hafkasayun, the palace in Whiterun, Dragon's Reach. It was originally built to house a captive Dova.
So this is where they imply that Whiterun is really, really, really old. We're talking in the 5 millennia range.
A fine place to trap one of Alduin's allies, hmm?
And that nobody's changed the structure of that palace in 5 millennia.
Yes, but your Sum is strong. I do not doubt that you can convince him of the need.
Terror. Okay.
Sum Ark.
Yeah, it's literally made of wood, as we'll see when we actually use the damn thing. Yeah, the pyramids have had a lot of degradation over the years. We still haven't fully explored them properly, and they were made of stone. This is a functioning trap made out of wood and metal 5 millennia ago, in a building that's used regularly, by the way.
Father says I'm too young.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
So yeah, hey, I need to trap a dragon in your palace.
I must have misheard you. I thought you asked me to help you trap a dragon in my palace.
Yeah, I need to trap a dragon in your palace.
What you're asking for is insane. Impossible.
I mean, I could just kill you.
Why would I agree to let a dragon into the heart of my city, after working so hard to keep them out?
Alduin has returned?
Alduin, the World Eater himself. But how can we fight him? Doesn't his return mean it's the end times?
I can stop him.
No Nord could have said it better. I'll stand beside you, Dragonborn. Now what's this nonsense about trapping a dragon in my palace?
So you have a dragon thing back there, and...
Then, Whiterun will stand with you, Dragonborn. We will take the risk and gain the glory, whether it be in victory or defeat.
Excellent.
So what's the plan then? How do you intend to lure a dragon into the trap? Well, I'll leave that to you. I trust you know your business. Probably for the best. It will give me time to see if that old trap still works.
That he...
And break the news to the men. Now, if you don't mind...
So you'll notice this is probably a little bit different than some of the versions some of you have seen of this quest. And that is, of course, on purpose. Don't worry, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Hey, Shadowmere. Hey.
Yes. I have been pondering on exactly that question. Lingra mora.
Okay.
I have tasted the voices of Alduin's allies on the wind.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. If he's some big great god dragon, why does he need allies?
Pogan nachlas vokril vachjun. There is one who I remember well. Odavin. He is the one to tell us where Alduin has gone.
Okay.
I forget how little you know of the Dove. Our names are always made up of 3 Rothmulag, words of power.
I roll my eyes, Horian.
You see, Paarthurnax, a thum, a shout, yes?
Why would he come if I called his name?
He is not compelled to come, but the Dove are prideful by nature. Few could resist such a challenge, especially from you, Dovahkiin. But Odahviing, he is headstrong, bozique, rash. Even among the Dove, he was known for this. He will not resist the challenge of your voice, Dovahkiin. He will come. Now, hear his name, Odahviing. Taste it on the wind, Odahviing. Know it in your sum, Odahviing.
Snow called dragon. All right. Hunter called dragon. Okay. Wing called dragon. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. All right, we're cool. We're cool. Can I actually admit something? Because there's another reason other than preference why I prefer Alduin to not be the God Eater that literally is going to consume the world. And it's because it adds a flavor of intrigue to the main plot, which is otherwise sadly lacking. Because if he's the God Eater and this is really prophecy and all that, then it's boring and moving on. But if instead this whole prophecy thing and this whole situation was being designed from the beginning as, well, kind of Morrowindy in the sense that it's a fake prophecy, that Alduin is a particularly powerful... What the hell? Leave Maik alone, dude!
Maik's father was also called Maik, as was Maik's father's father. At least, that is what his father said.
Of course. Anyways, it adds a little bit of... I guess subversion is the word I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, I am the great world eater of death and doom and destruction. And I shall raise this great legend... I shall raise this great legend, and my words of my deeds shall grow stronger and strong. But secretly, he's actually just a very powerful dragon who happened to be basically the Lord of the Dragons. Right? I mean, you get it? I mean, God's sakes, we literally go to the same place he goes to enter the afterlife. Well, one of the afterlives. He uses a portal that we use, you know? Anyways.
We're ready, Dragonborn. Just say the word.
Then let's do it.
As I promised, my men stand ready. The great chains are oiled. We wait on your word.
Let's do it.
My men know what to do. Make sure you do your part. I'm putting my city in your hands.
Oh, I have no doubt it's not intentional on behalf of Bethesda. No doubt. I'm pretty sure they just intended to be this to be a straight killing entropy, you know, destroying the god of death and consumption and a sliver of the ancient Akatosh. I'm pretty sure they meant all this straight. Of that I have no real doubt.
We're ready when you are.
Yeah, that's true, Braven. But you know what, actually... I can't do this. I'm out. Oh, God, no, there's an invisible wall. I break the invisible wall. I'm free. Free. Oh, my God. What's wrong with this world? Oh, God. Ah! There's no world. This world is imperfect. No, we're missing something, aren't we? You're not going to let me do this. Here we go. Yes. Meanwhile, back in another dimension. Unfortunately, the only possible way to ensure that we can that White One will be safe in order to trap a dragon here is we must convince the Civil War to stop. If the Civil War doesn't stop, then obviously White One will be at risk, because the Civil War is alive and well, and Ulfric and Tullius, they both need to be convinced of this. So let's go talk to Ulfric. Let's see what he's got to say here.
Don't be so sure of that.
Only the foolish do I know you.
I have a message from the Greybeards.
It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want?
They wish to negotiate a truce until the dragon menace has been dealt with.
I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King.
So I'm not really willing to do this because I'm not in charge.
I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there.
Okay.
I can't agree to any peace council until I know Tullius will be there. The other Jarls could take that as a sign of weakness.
Now, I wanted to do this first, because if you go talk to Tullius, he agrees without much issue. You have to talk Ulfric into this. I just feel like pointing that out. Tullius, the by-the-book professional Imperial quartermaster, is more willing to talk about a temporary truce than Ulfric, the supposed man of the people. Just wanted to point that out. Then you just do the Civil War. You just go right back to it, Chengso. Nothing changes, in other words.
I don't need you to teach me how to play high politics in Skyrim. But you're right. There's nothing to be gained by refusing the Greybeard's request.
So you'll come to the Peace Council, you moron?
Yes. I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
No. Peace Council, not I win and you surrender. Peace Council.
And what would you have?
Jackass. God, I hate him so freaking much.
He's against us. Disrespect.
So, let's go see what Tullius has to say. I can't let it go. I hate him. And he continues to exist in this timeline. Temporarily.
Positions.
I haven't been to Solitude yet in this timeline.
Touching by your armor.
Wait, what? Am I in Imperial armor in this
Let
timeline?
me guess. Someone stole your sweet robe.
Oh god, I am.
The winking skeevers got warm beds and cold.
Are my men now giving free rein to anyone who wanders into the castle? Do you have some reason to be here, citizen?
Yes. I have a message from the Greybeards.
The Greybeards? What do those old hermits want with me?
They're convening a peace council at High Hrothgar.
Why? There's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor.
We need a truce until the dragon menace is dealt with.
They are getting to be a problem. But I wasn't sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that. Dragons or no dragons.
Okay. So, Ulfric's already agreed to attend, but I'm going to go ahead and say the best time to negotiate is from a position of strength.
Fair enough. We're driving the Stormcloaks back well enough at the moment, but we're already overstretched. That's what comes of trying to win a war with a bare handful of legions. If the Emperor would just give me the reinforcements I've requested.
Why won't he send more reinforcements?
Most of the Legion is tied down on the border with the Aldmeri Dominion. The Emperor can't afford to risk weakening Cyrodiil's defenses. From the Imperial City, our war here is just a sideshow. An interlude before the main event against the Thalmor resumes.
Yep.
Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do.
So.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try.
The Greybeards have called a peace council at High Hrothgar.
We have killed many people, and must kill many more. Okay. So yeah, we convened the Peace Council. That's crazy, Bragwin. What? You know, it'd be kind of cool, though? If we had an RTS or a 4X game where we take back... where we basically go and choose the Dominion or the Empire and win the war.
So, you've done it. The men of violence are gathered here in these halls whose very
Blah,
stones
blah,
are
pacifist, blah,
dedicated to
blah.
peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters.
Blah, blah, non-interactive, blah, blah.
Yes, yes. Which is why I allowed this violation of all our traditions.
Blah, blah, traditions, blah, blah.
But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim.
So I'm going to save in this reality. Probably, unfortunately, they will do exactly that. Numenon? If I'm saying that right.
And so we meet again. But this time I know who and what you really are.
So what am I, milady? Whoops. Didn't mean to get out of the chair. There we go. Yeah, the one and only awesome thing he does is to get to Thalmor thrown out. Yeah, she really needs to stop touching that wine. I have tried so many different tricks and console cheats in order to try and speed this up or make this funnier, but the only thing I've ever succeeded at doing without literally soft locking the game is humbling her. So, enjoy the show, because...
Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin.
This is a good time to mention that I don't like this scene as much as I wish I did. There's a few ways it can go based on when you do it, but for the most part, the scene is constructed to be either done regardless of the Civil War, or basically not to happen at all. And I know that sounds like weird, but that is true. Now, the part of the reason I don't like this, though, is that there's a weird disconnect between your dialogue and what the people say in reaction to it. Now, I'm going to try and be as favoritist towards the Imperials as possible, and yet I will still be accused by the Imperialists of being biased against them. If I were to be favored in, if I was to speak favorably of the Stormcloaks would still say I am biased against the Stormcloaks. It feels like this was designed to not really interact with the player so much as to inform them. This is effectively a non-interactive cutscene, despite the fact that there's dialogue options.
I hope that we have all come here in the spirit
You
of...
insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? Your chief Talos hunter?
That didn't take long.
Here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
She's part of the Imperial delegation. You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
I'm gonna kick her out.
Izmir's beard. The nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that. Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I do.
So, yeah. Thalmor have no business here. Let's go.
I'm glad we agree on this.
Very well, Ulfric. Enjoy your petty victory.
And then she hobbles out, having that heart attack. Enjoy, lady. Eventually. It's going to take her a minute. Unless I've soft-locked, in which case I need to reload. I made a save before this just in case. It is way too easy to soft-lock this cutscene. I might have soft-locked this again. Yeah, by the way, you're stuck here. I can't get out of the table once it starts. Okay, I've got an idea. Stop existing! Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Stop existing! Oh, crap! Oh, God! Whoops. Okay, let's actually try to target her this time. There we go. Okay, we're good.
Unlike your Imperial friends here.
You're lucky I respect the Greybeard's counsel, Galmar.
Legate, we represent the Emperor here.
Sorry, sir.
Who was the other person I removed from reality?
Settled. May we proceed?
Oh, it was Balgrove.
I have something to say first.
Here we go.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the dragon menace. There's nothing else to talk about.
You know what? I'm just going to reload just in case that he's needed for this conversation. I really don't feel like sitting for this all over again. I've sat through this entire cutscene like 8 times as part of the setup for this. I don't feel like doing it again.
And so we meet again.
So.
But this time I know who and what you really are.
I'm just going to start over. Oh, actually, really quick. There, I've got her selected. We're good. What? I literally can't, Venters? Because there's no peace treaty. If there is no... Like, the whole reason I set up this save completely separate so I could show off the peace negotiations. If I kill Ulfric, there's no peace negotiations. We won. Hello? Hello? Let's try this again. Okay. What the hell? I didn't do anything that time. I didn't even humble her that time. Whatever, I still got her spawned.
So we meet again.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, I hate this cutscene so much. By the way, you can't even drink the mug in front of you. That actually pisses me off a little bit. It's like, hey, if you steal it, they're like, stop, thief! Oh my god, you stole the tankard! I'm not doing it because I don't want to do this for the 5th time now. Are we ready to start for realsies? Agreed, Brother Mazone. I could totally picture that, Chunk. So, okay, this is ridiculous. Hey.
I'll give you credit for boldness.
Is everyone here? Let's get this started.
I'm glad I finally got a chance to see.
But there's nothing to
When has any good?
I never
What are we waiting for?
We must succeed.
Tullius again. At least not without a weapon in my hand.
They're all looking at me. What in the crap? I haven't done anything in this reality. He just takes the tankard back. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. Maybe this will trigger it. Where is Bulgruff? You're right, Bulgruff isn't here. Where the hell is he? What? Yeah, I disabled him and then reloaded a save. That doesn't go across saves. Here, this is the load that I have been loading back here before I even entered, and he's not here. I am 100% sure it doesn't go across saves, and you know why? Because I disabled her. Remember? I disabled her to get the story to move on. Wow. Okay, so let's find... God, how do you spell his name? Like that, maybe? Oh, geez, that's a lot of... Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. I just spawned a new Balgruuf. I have no idea if the triggers are going to acknowledge him as the Balgruuf, though. I don't think they're going to, because he's sitting in the wrong chair and nobody's reacting. Maybe? I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. This is a little on the ridiculous side. Okay, I'm not sure why an autosave is here, so that's a bad autosave. Let's go back to a previous autosave. Falco's just like, I'm not, you know. What's up, guys?
So
yes, yes, yes. Yep.
Not
Yep.
Regrets.
Yep.
Take your seat at the council table. Let us see what
Gonna put a new save here.
And so we meet again. But this time I know who and what you really are.
Yeah, okay, hang on. This is legitimately weird. Nothing about how the Elder Scrolls works should be working in this particular manner. Because, as I've already demonstrated, disabling does not get rid of them from previous saves. I have demonstrated that on camera just now. I mean, I guess we could skip the scene. It's not really that necessary, and it's mostly boring. It also showcases how horrible of a person that Ulfric is. Jarl Nazim. Okay, so Zeravus. Let's go back to here. Let's see what this does. I've deleted Balgruuf from the game files. What are you doing over here?
If you can arrange an end to the fighting. Dragon's Reach is...
What the hell are you doing over here, Balgrove? He just left. He just left. Balgrove? Come here, Balgrove. I figured out what's happening.
The others do not speak.
I'm not sure.
Voices.
Yeah, no, I got it. Okay, so. Blah, 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 blah. Hurry. Quicker.
Take your seat
Quicker.
at the council table.
Okay, come on.
What wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim.
Nope, he's still doing it. So what's happening is he's stuck in a movement script. And it looks like he's going back to Whiterun, which is a hell of a trip. It's okay, I think I know how to... What the hell? Yeah, let's spawn him in here really quick.
But this time I know.
There we go. Okay, we've overridden. We had to override his script to go home with his script to be here. Jesus Christ. Okay. No, that's not her. That's not her. That's the fog. That's her. Oh my god. Okay. See, my other backup solution. Where'd he go? Where did he go?
Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin.
My backup solution
We have all come here.
was... There he is! My backup solution was to basically wait for like 3 days so he can walk all the way back home and then start the next quest and get him here so his previous script was done and that his new script would take over.
You insult us by bringing her to negotiation.
Oh my god.
Your chief Talos hunter?
That didn't take long.
Here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
She's part of the Imperial...
So I want to explain why that happened, because I understand now why that happened. It has nothing to do with me disabling him at all. Here's what happened. You've actually probably seen it a few times in this lore run, but if you're still in a conversation with an NPC and then go through a cell change, what tends to happen is they get teleported to you. You've seen this happen. I'm sure plenty of you have seen this happen in your own stuff. So I was still talking with Balgrove and saying we got to go do this when I ended up warping up here, which I did very, very quickly, if you remember. I literally just teleport and then straight through the door. So Balgrove was dragged with me through the door. Now, the first time I did this, I managed to race up to the guys and start the next cutscene quickly enough so that he was like, oh, right, I need to go here, and turned around and he started going towards the table instead of all the way back down to Whiterun. In each subsequent thing, I didn't allow his script to... Basically, I didn't override his script. So he kept going back down, and that's what kept happening there.
You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
So, that's what happened.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Izmir's beard, the nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that. Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I do.
So I like that he's literally dictating terms before the negotiation has even begun, because he's a dick. But I will go ahead and get her kicked out because it amuses me.
I'm glad we agree on this.
Very well, Ulfric. Enjoy your petty victory. The Thalmor will treat with whatever government rules Skyrim. We would not think of interfering in your civil war.
Ha! Skyrim will never bow to the Thalmor. Unlike your Imperial friends here.
You're lucky I... Respect the Greybeard's counsel, Galmar.
Legate, we represent the Emperor here.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
Now that that's settled, may we proceed?
I have something to say first.
Here we go.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the dragon menace. There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust claim to rule over the free people of Skyrim.
Blah, blah, blah. In other words, this is his politicizing and posturing before he even begins negotiation in events that have nothing to do whatsoever with the Civil War. Just point that out.
I knew he wouldn't be able to resist.
A temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more.
Which goes exactly contradictory to what you were just talking about.
I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture.
That's because you have no idea what the word diplomacy means.
Are you done? Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we get down to business?
Thank you, Tullius.
Yes, let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed?
You know, the funny thing is, hypothetically, this should be really easy. All right, everyone, don't fight each other for like a month. Okay, Dragonborn, you got a month. Go. Boom! There's your negotiation. But no. We got to exchange territory, and we'll get to that. By the way, hi, mech official. Sorry I didn't say hi. Welcome to my stream. I am a lore runner. I run lore. I do hope that you feel free to talk or change or comment or tell me how terrible I am. That's totally up to you. I do like chatting with my viewers, and I like interacting with viewers. It's kind of the point, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. Thanks. So, anyways, legitimately, though, yeah, Ulfric is absolutely belligerent here. He is the worst kind of person to send to an actual diplomatic negotiation.
Tullius, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar, and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Yes.
You know, it would have been interesting if there was a way to do this quest so the negotiators were Ralof and Hadvar. Wouldn't that have been a sight?
Let's get down to it. We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
Okay, so first of all, that's insane. That's not a truce. That's... When you have fought a war, and the war has concluded, and then you sit down at the negotiation table and you say, I want this territory in order for the war to stop, that's after you have won the war. You know, that's when you... You don't do that when you're declaring truce. Okay? That's not how that works. We demand that you secede territory to us. In addition to this, he is demanding that the Imperials secede a Skyrim province to him. There's so many things wrong with that, I don't even know where to begin, so I'm just going to leave that alone.
So that's why you're here, Ulfric? You dare to insult the Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
Jarl Elisif.
General, this is outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously. I thought we were here to discuss a truce.
Elisif, I said I'd handle it. Ulfric, you can't seriously expect us to give up Markarth at the negotiating table.
Oh yeah, sorry, let's make this clear, by the way. Markarth is a source of immeasurable wealth. It is by far the wealthiest territory in all of Skyrim, by a huge margin. It is also one that is deeply in the pockets of several pre-existing conspiracies, including the Railroad Barons of the Silverbloods and the whole situation with the Forsworn. Obviously, Ulfric does have history there, but that's kind of like saying... Oh, God, what's an example? Let's assume for a moment that I'm the Byzantines and you're the Ottomans. And you come to me, and we've kind of been winning this war, and the Ottomans say... All right, in order to have a truce, not the end of the war, not a negotiation, just a temporary truce, we demand Constantinople. Like, I'm exaggerating slightly because Constantinople is also, you know, the frickin' capital, but that's the relative equivalent of how ridiculously stupid this is. Oh yeah, Markarth is also a massively fortified location, which also happens to be in a Dwemer ruin. What are you showing me, Kralis? Oh yeah. I've seen this. There are a couple ways to make this go different ways, but yeah. It's kind of funny because I imagine most players never see any of the variant ways on this because they involve being in the middle of the Civil War, which most people don't stop in the middle of the Civil War, right?
You hope to gain in council what you've been unable to take in battle, is that it?
I'm sure Jarl Ulfric does not expect something for nothing.
Yes, that'd be entirely out of character.
Want in return?
Wait, General.
I mean, in return for Markarth? Yeah, I'll take Windhelm.
This is how the Empire repays us for our loyalty?
Enough. First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea. I think it's a waste of time. You are a traitor to the Empire and deserve a traitor's death. But I at least will negotiate in good faith. Since we're all here at your request, I'd like to hear what you think Markarth is worth.
So, Winterhold and Riften are the options here. We'll go with Riften. Or excuse me, Winterhold. I usually pick Riften.
In exchange for Markarth, the source of most of Skyrim's silver. Hardly. Riften seems like a better choice to me. Well fortified, easily resupplied from across Lake Honric, plus all the mead we can drink.
You're right. Riften's better.
I'm glad you agree. I was starting to wonder whose side you were on here.
The Dragonborn has spoken, Tullius. Markarth will be ours.
I hate you.
Now we'll see if there's anything behind your talk of good faith.
You disappoint me, Dragonborn. I accepted your invitation on trust in your good name. But it seems you intend to favor Ulfric. I can see now that this is not a negotiation at all. I know you, Ulfric. If I hand over Markarth, you'll be ready with a new demand. You'll never defeat the Empire, and you know it. But you're willing to sacrifice thousands for your own selfish ambition.
See you around, Mac Daddy.
Soon enough, I'll have you back under the headsman's axe, and this time there won't be any dragon to save you.
As always, the Empire's fine words are worth nothing.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your petty disagreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me. And I advise you both to listen to what he has to say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Alduin has returned, the World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
Now, can I just say, I know this sounds really weird, but I would actually kind of like the idea that rather than both sides willing to sit down and work this out, they don't. Ulfric is too obstinate, and Tullius is too set in his duty, so the two sides don't declare a truce, and then Balgruuf says, I'm going to do this anyways, because he's Balgruuf and he's a cool guy. I kind of think that would actually have been a better outcome to this than what we already get. Just my opinion.
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon situation has gotten out of hand. If this truce will help the Dragonborn here put an end to that menace, we both gain. Remember that, Ulfric. Now, back to the matter at hand. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Markarth on these terms.
Shores, bones, where will these demands end?
Let's hear it.
We want compensation for the massacre at Karthwasten.
You slaughtered the very people you claim to be fighting for. True sons of Skyrim would never do such things.
Damned Imperial lies. My men would never stoop to such methods, even in retaliation for your butchery at...
All the blood spilled in this war is on your head.
That's such a stupid sentence, I don't even know what to say about it. So, yeah.
So, Dragonborn, what do you say?
No, I finished Psalm a couple days after I started it, before I went back to Oblivion. Ulfric should compensate you.
Well said. For once you'll actually pay for your crimes. I suppose that's the fairest deal we're likely to get.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, these are the terms currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces, Jarl Igmund will step down, and Thongvor Silverblood will become the Jarl of Markarth. The Stormcloaks will withdraw from the rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl Layla Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften. The Stormcloaks will pay appropriate compensation for the massacre at Karthwaystel. You both agree to this?
The Sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreement.
Shut
as
up.
long as the Imperials
Not you guys, yeah.
hold to theirs. What about you, Elisif? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up. I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your loyalty. The Empire can live with these terms, yes, for a temporary truce, until the dragon menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Not in this game.
Come on, Delmar. We have a lot of work to do.
So, this is funny. Yes, Malachar. So, having secured the negotiation whose entire purpose was to ensure that we could take out the dragon menace, Ulfric then bails like a selfish, greedy git. What's interesting about that is in the overwhelming majority of circumstances in which this cutscene happens, that's the result. Ulfric is the one who bails and leaves the Empire to clean up the actual mess. But it's actually possible, if you set up the Civil War quest just right, that Tullius is the one, and the Imperial sides are the one who's like, ugh, we're getting out of here. And then Ulfric is the one who stays to actually help with the details at Whiterun. And I point that out because it means they're both idiots, and it means no matter what you do, it doesn't change anything. God.
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Balgruf, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan.
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
Well, that's an excellent question. You haven't overlooked that little detail, have you?
No, of course not. I'm here to kill everyone! Everyone! Oh god, they got me! They got me! Oh god, stun locked. Stun locked. Okay, hang on, give me a second. Okay, I'm up. Yeah. Oh no! And then the Dragonborn dies. And we switch realities. And that reality is permanently doomed and Alduin destroys the world. Meanwhile, over here, in that timeline, everyone dies. Alduin either conquers the world or consumes the world, whichever your particular preference is on that. There we go.
Go ahead and call this dragon of yours. We're ready.
Okay. There it is.
We're ready when you are.
I'm calling him. There we go. Look, I just wanted to doom that reality, okay? Any reality in which Ulfric lives is a reality in which everyone should either die or be conquered. Whoa! Hello. That poor guy! What did he do to you, man? Never should have come here. Really? Oh yeah, I should probably hit it with Dragon Red. Hang on, hang on. Sorry. Whoops.
Here I am.
Come on, bring it. Bring it, boy. Oh, you think that hurts? Nah, you got nothing. You ain't got nothing. You can't defeat me, dragon. I am beyond you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I went through the wall. Hang on, there we go. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to go through the wall. Now come back this way. No, this way. There you go. Recenter yourself. There you go. Come on, boy. Look, I don't even need my sword to get you. Do I? Hi.
I think it's holding. Pavuta med Kodav. Caught like a bear in a trap.
It is a clever little trap, but how the hell would you ever get someone in here?
Ah, I forget. You do not have the Dova speech.
Yes, I'm a filthy American.
My eagerness to meet you in battle was my undoing, Dovahkiin. I salute your
low cunning
in devising such a Gramin Dol stratagem. Zuubonar, you went to a great deal of trouble to put me in this humiliating position. Insir Alduin, No doubt you want to know where to find Alduin.
That'd be nice, yeah. So where's he hiding?
Renik Vaza, an apt phrase. Alduin Boval. One reason I came to your call was to test your Thuum for myself.
Okay.
Many of us have begun to question Alduin's lordship, whether his Thuum was truly the strongest. Among ourselves, of course, Muni Mae, none were yet ready to openly defy him.
I'm sorry, let's try this again. Where do I find Alduin?
Once Lord Croesus, innumerable pardons, I digress.
Stop cussing me out while you're apologizing to me.
He has traveled to Sovngarde to regain his strength, devouring the Silesure, the souls of the mortal dead, a privilege he jealously guards.
There's a theory going around, and I'm not sure what I think of this, but I do like it, that any dragon can consume souls if they can access them. Similar to how we can consume the souls of dragons simply by being dragonborn, as long as a dragon was able to literally enter an afterlife, they would be able to then consume them there. I do kind of like that theory, but shrug.
His door to Sovngarde is at Skuldafn, one of his ancient fanes high in the eastern mountains. Mindoran pa ok midoven avarantil. I surely do not need to warn you that all his remaining strength is marshaled there. Zuulost ofan hinlan. Now that I have answered your question, you will allow me to go free?
Not until Alduin is defeated.
Ah, well. Croesus, there is one detail about Skuldafn I neglected to mention.
Yeah, I mean, you can only reach it if you could fly, and you can't fly, right?
Only this. You have the Thuum of a Dova, but without the wings of one, you will never set foot in Skuldafn.
Couldn't I just climb?
Of course. I could fly you there, but not while imprisoned like this.
I guess I am in a hurry. Do you want me to just take your word at this?
Aran, you wound me, Dovahkiin.
I may not tell the whole truth, but I am no liar. Go and see for yourself. Zu ni bo nor het. I will be here, unless Alduin returns before you do.
I don't remember what Croesus means exactly. Oh yeah, hang on. We gotta show this really quick, because this is funny. This is Farengar.
Incredible. Sir, you have no idea how long I have waited for such an opportunity. I would be most appreciative if you would permit me to perform some, tests on you, purely in the interests of the advancement of knowledge.
Be gone, mage. Do not test my promise to the Dovahkiin.
I assure you, you will not even notice me. Most of them are hardly painful at all to a large dragon such as yourself.
Very bad idea.
Surely you wouldn't miss a few scales, or a small amount of blood.
May, what are you doing back there?
Yeah, and then he runs off scared. I love that little bit.
Something I can't believe that worked.
Open up the trap.
You sure about that? You want to let that dragon loose after all the trouble to catch him in there?
Yeah, it's okay. I know the future.
Your funeral. Someone else is gonna have to help you get him back in there again. Get ready to open the trap. This seems like a really bad idea to me.
Carry on, soldier. This is all part of the Dragonborn's plan.
Hang on, I have the wrong outfit on. There we go. Much better.
Was nu? Dini dein Ruthi Astval. Are you ready to see the world as only a Dova can?
I mean, I think the birds see it that way too. And the Dwemer.
Saran Uth, I await your command as promised. Are you ready to see the world as only a Dova can?
There is lava, dude. And by the way, in case you think I'm joking, remember the Dwemer had functional airships.
Zukbrit Oth, I warn you, once you've
Whoa,
flown
whoa, whoa,
the
whoa.
skies of Kaizal, your
Personal
envy
space.
of the Dove will only increase.
Buddy. A little too close.
Amativ, Mubokotin Stinsela.
So I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say this again. When I first saw this, my first reaction was, oh, dude, this is so awesome! I'm finally going to get to go flying through the Skyrim! This is awesome! Wait, why is there a loading screen? What? I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
Grifboth Akrin, I will look for your return. Or Alduin's.
God damn it. Couldn't have given me that, Skyrim. I mean, yeah, I know Dragonborn did then add flyable dragons, but I was just like, yeah! God damn it! That was the first of multiple things I didn't care for. Disappointments, that's the word I want to use. So anyways, you see this? This is how Alduin gets to Sovngarde. It's literally just a portal into the Aetherius. Now, I shouldn't say just, but I point this out because, once again, theoretically, any dragon could go through here and start eating souls, and any person could go through here, like we're about to do. Yeah, exactly, Casual. What magnificent cities! What the... Hang on. Go away. There we go. No, I noticed that completely, Corrales. Hello? Why isn't this working? There we go. Sorry. I just didn't go far away enough. Do you mind? Anyways. Now, while I am discouraged about most of the finale and ending and all that of Skyrim's main quest, I have to admit, I rather liked Sovngarde. In fact, since we're here, hang on, I'm going to get rid of my background here. Give me just a second. Yeah, Sovngarde's an actual place. It is a literal place you can actually go to. Probably in the Aetherius, but we don't know. Anyways, I actually have a background just for this that I used a couple times on the show. Here we go. That'll be good. This is a cool skybox. It took forever to properly get footage of it, though, because this area is heavily scripted, and basically bypassing all those scripts was a pain. I also like the song that plays here. Whoops, I lost the chat. There we go. Yeah, this is the first and, I believe, last time we ever go to the Aetherius. Assuming this is in the Aetherius. Hey, Alduin. Yeah, that's right. Run away. Boy. Oh, there goes Stormcloak Soldier.
When I woke from cold death, my doom was lifted. There was Shore's Hall, my heart's desire.
You're welcome, Coldlark.
But now I wander, weary and lost. Alduin hunts me, as we once hunted our prey. A bitter payment for many bloody deeds.
Skyrim was betrayed. The blood of her sons spilled in Doom's struggle against fate. And so in death too late, I learned the truth. Fed by war, so waxed the power of Alduin World Eater. Wisdom now useless. By God's jest, in this grim mist, together snared. Stormcloak and Imperial, we wander hopeless, waiting for succor.
Not that I'm aware of Ventures, no. Sadly, the requirements for getting in here are actually quite basic. Are you a Nord? Are you not tied to anyone else? Did you die in battle? Okay, we're cool. That is basically it.
Yeah! What brings you, Wayfarer?
I seek Alduin.
A faithful errand. No few have chafed to face the worm, since first he set his soul snare here at Sovngarde's threshold. But Shore restrained our wrathful onslaught. Perhaps deep counseled your doom he foresaw. No shade are you, as usually here passes, but living, you dare the land of the dead. By what right do you request entry?
I lead the companions. I am the master of the college. I am the nightingale of Nocturne. But no, I'm the Dragonborn.
Ah. It's been too long since last I faced a doom-driven hero of the Dragonblood. Living or dead, by decree of Shore, none may pass this perilous bridge until I judge them worthy by the warrior's test.
Okay. I win. We cool now?
You fought well. I find you worthy. It is long since one of the living has entered here. May Shore's favor follow you and your heir.
Now, that's probably just a throwaway line, but I like to wonder, what other living people have entered here? So, let's discuss the construct of this afterlife really quick. So, there's the Eternal Mists, and this is apparently a vast area, this valley. Obviously in gameplay it's very small, but basically you wander the mists, either lost or until you find your way here. Now the mists themselves were probably put into place by Alduin himself the last time he came around here, but we're not 100% sure about that. Anyways, so you get here, he sees if you're worthy, especially if you're dead. You know, it's basically, I have to declare why I deserve to come in here. Very basic thing. You cross the Bridge of Bone, and then you enter what is effectively the real afterlife right here. Yeah, this is basically straight up Valhalla. There's a few recognizable faces in here.
Far you've traveled, your trials long, to taste of Sovngarde's sweet delights.
Seek ye food or song unending? Fighting, drinking, fellowship and boasting? Find welcome here and warm your soul. A cup dragonborn, to death and glory.
Giant things of cheese, golden plates and music and bowls and apples and the giant kegs of everlasting mead. Yeah, it's frickin' Valhalla. And then they go out and fight for fun until they lose or until they die, and then they get back up and they fight again. God damn it, I didn't want to talk to you guys yet.
And with high hearts, we'll hasten forth to smite the worm wherever he lurks.
Hold, comrades. Let us counsel take before battle is blindly joined. Alduin's mist is more than a snare. Its shadowy gloom is his shield and cloak. But with four voices...
You'll notice the goblets and wine things, they don't even have an object, just like the cheese.
And bring him to battle.
Seek ye food or song unending.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Here's Hunror, but not who I was looking for.
Shore's high seat stands empty. His mien is too bright for mortal eyes.
Uh-huh. Where the hell? They roam a little bit. What? Who's that? Oh, that's Ulfgar.
Dragonborn.
There's Ysgramor.
Welcome, Dragonborn. Our door has stood empty since Alduin first set his soul snare here. By Shore's command, we sheathed our blades, and ventured not the Vale's dark mist. But three await your word to loose their fury upon the perilous foe.
By the way, yes, that Ysgramor.
Fearless, glad-hearted in battle. Hecon, the valiant, heavy-handed warrior. Feldir, the old, far-seeing and grim.
And yes, he has his axe. And yeah, there's Olaf.
Shore's power protects this hall, but beyond is fear brought by Alduin.
Also, I like that I just have whole cows roasting there. Probably infinitely respawning, but you know how that works. Alright, let's go, let's go. This is it, guys. The final boss of the game. The Mist. Yeah, there's some unique food here, too. I didn't quite show that off as well as I could have. Oh yeah, by the way, if you look up, you can see the warrior, the rogue, and the mage, just pointing that out. In other words, that's not just an aspect of the leveling screen, that's actually what you can see here in Sovngarde. If you get inside, yes, you're safe. At least, apparently. I like to think that Alduin could get in there, he just hasn't bothered because he's got lots and lots of souls to gobble up out here. That's just my take on it, though. Okay. One of the things I've said many times when it comes to video game design is that the last boss needs to be something special. I don't just mean the fact that it's a big guy with lots of stats, or that they're really scary or cool looking. I mean, you need to do something unique with a final boss. Whether it's introducing new technology into the layering of the background, so there's something really cool there, or a completely new set of scripts in order to make it so that, you know, this cutscene happens that otherwise couldn't happen, or like this multi-phase awesome battle of cool. You know, you need to do something with a final boss. And I've had that belief since basically the SNES era. And I've talked about this concept many times in my show. And this is ultimately the final failing, the ultimate flaw of Alduin as a character, is that even if you don't give a crap about the story, from a gameplay perspective, they do nothing with him. He is just another dragon. In fact, it's basically the same fight we've already fought against him up at the top of the throat of the world. And that's pathetic.
We cannot fight the foe in this mist.
Clear skies! Combine our shouts!
Look!
Yeah, no kidding, Argos.
Again!
Look!
I mean, that's cool, but ultimately this is just another generic Skyrim area, too. So we're not even really fighting him in someplace special, other than the fact that we have a fancy skybox. You know? Again, gameplay perspective.
Does his strength have no end? Is our struggle in vain?
Stand fast! His strength is failing! Once more and his might will be broken!
Again! And we break his grim hold over Shor's realm and redeem it for eternity! Look!
The endless wait gives way to battle. No escape this time, foul worm!
Yeah, that was amusing. Hourglass. Oh no, that's an epic fight. The one in Dark Souls 3, right? I mean, I'm sorry, guys. This was just such a massive disappointment to me. Every time I've done this. Now, yeah, I know, I'm super powerful, but again, this is not actually a hard fight, even normally. Oh yeah, right. There we go. Notice his soul goes up and not into us, by the way. Which means we don't actually kill Alduin, which means he could still come back someday.
They will sing of this battle in Shore's Hall forever. But your fate lies elsewhere. When you have completed your count of days, I may welcome you again with glad friendship and bid you join the blessed feasting.
All hail the Dragonborn! Hail him with great praise!
When you are ready to rejoin the living, just bid me so, and I will send you back.
They probably will, Corellis. And God, I hope they don't.
Return now to Nurn, this rich boon from Shore, my lord. A shout to bring a hero from Sovngarde in your hour of need.
And we beat the game. We end up here, of course. They never say why.
Sorot fur kanaran.
Yeah, this is basically a dragon moot. This is something I like. And I really, really hope they carry through on this. Because this is a game changer right here. The dragons are back and are staying back. The dragons are now an active force in the world of in Tamriel. And there's a lot of possibilities of what you could do with that, story-wise. That engaged me more than, you know, going off and defeating Alduin. I mean, good lord. Dragons partnering with others? Dragons forming little fiefdoms? An actual dragon empire? I mean, think about that.
It is done. Alduin, Dilon. The eldest is no more. He who came before all others, and has always been.
I have no regrets. Alduin sucked.
Of course. Alduin Wachlan Dani. I would not have helped you if I thought otherwise. You did what was necessary. Alduin had flown far from the path of right action in his Pachlok, in the arrogance of his power. But I cannot celebrate his fall. Zutiraz Ach Ochma. He was my brother once. This world will never be the same.
I mean, he didn't die permanently, dude.
Perhaps. At least it will continue to exist. Greek Lochlein. And, as you told me once, the next world will have to take care of itself. Fulmilos. Even I cannot see past time's ending. But I forget myself. Crosis. Solos midfadon. Melancholy is an easy trap for a Dova to fall into. You have won a mighty victory, Shahroch Kongrach. One that will echo through all the ages of this world for those who have eyes to see. Savor your triumph, Dovahkiin. This is not the last of what you will write upon the currents of time. Goran, I feel younger than I have in many age. Many of the Dovahkiin are now scattered across Kizal. Without Alduin's lordship, they may yet bow to the Vazen, brightness of my Thum. But willing or no, they will hear it. Fare thee well, Dovahkiin.
You actually can't kill him yet. We don't even have the quest to kill him yet. He's still essential. Now, sadly, because of the nature of these games and the way they tend to assume you do all quests, they did that with Oblivion, if you'll remember. There's a pretty good chance that in lore we do actually kill Paarthurnax because it's the only way to conclude the quest chain, and there's no option to say no. So in lore, in Elder Scrolls 6, Paarthurnax is probably dead, and that sucks.
Prusa Wundana wa Wuthgain. I wish the Old One luck in his quest. But I doubt many will wish to exchange Alduin's lordship for the tyranny of Paarthurnax's way of the voice. As for myself, you've proven your mastery twice over. Thuri Dovahkiin, I gladly acknowledge the power of your Thum. Zu Odaving, call me when you
I do kind of like the idea that that one dragon decided to willingly serve us in the end. At least in part. I've actually never killed Paarthurnax, and I never plan to. So I've got the Dawnguard quest, I've got the Dragonborn quest. I believe we're good to go. So anyways, Computer Carnage. Sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. We were kind of in the middle of a cutscene. I didn't want to talk over it. This is a lore run where we sit and we discuss the lore and the concepts and the gameplay and otherwise just analyze the game as we go through it. Kind of talk it out and discuss it in a live stream fashion. It's funny you mention the lore is all over the place. Do you see this right here? It's a little clicker counter where I've been putting a click for every time the lore has been debatable, where we just don't have an answer. I'm up to 149, guys. Yeah. We have a Elder Scrolls prequel, guys. It's called Elder Scrolls Online. I'm done for tonight. I went way over my usual stream time by almost 3 hours, but I really wanted to finish the main quest tonight. Tomorrow... Oh, wait, hang on.
Dremyolok, greetings.
Never mind. Okay, we're good. Tomorrow... we will go ahead and do Dawnguard. So remember, we still have that vote going. I will be closing that vote pretty much the moment we start streaming tomorrow in order to decide if we go with the vampires or if we go with the Dawnguard. Oh, God, I love doing that jump. So make sure you vote on that if you haven't. Thank you, Bragwin, for linking that. In addendum, I don't anticipate Dawnguard taking particularly long. It's not that huge of a DLC. So as soon as we finish Dawnguard, we'll go ahead and start Dragonborn. And then I have one last tiny little thing to show off, and then we'll actually be done. God, almost 3 weeks for this one. This has actually taken a little bit longer than I thought it would. It's still freaking closed. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. I hope to see you guys tomorrow morning. I am going to go try to fix that footage situation that we had today because of the crash. So see you around, guys.